Thank you so much for that. Give yourselves, have you guys had a chance to try soda water yet? Has anybody had a chance? SodaStream, has anyone had a chance to check that out yet? Has anyone had a chance to check out Cubify yet? Yeah, okay. What about Smart Ninja? Has anyone done Smart Ninja yet? Yeah, you did Smart Ninja? Okay. My name's Mario Armstrong. I'm on CNN, The Today Show, NPR, and Sirius XM, and I'm going to be dipping and dabbing in and out of various activities here for you today. Before we get started with the first set, which is to introduce the young minds, which is what this is largely about, the young, new innovators, the emerging innovators. We have some students here that are going to present to you some of their fascinating ideas and things that they're working on. But before we do that, I'd like to say a special warm welcome and a thank you to Mr. Fuji, who is here, the chairman and CEO of Toshiba America. And also, I'd like to say a special thank you to Arthur Eisencraft, who's also here as well. And Arthur is the co-creator of ExploraVision, which if you don't know, ask someone here about ExploraVision. He's also a head judge of ExploraVision. It's basically a science competition for all grade levels for kids to really become new problem solvers. And so we're going to introduce you to some of those problem solvers right now. Many of you may not know, but Toshiba has been doing this for 20 years. This is their 20th anniversary. You guys are a part of making history right now. So if you didn't know that, give yourselves a round of applause. This is going to be one of the most exciting Earth Day presentations that you've ever been a part of. I've had a chance to not only meet and sit down with some of the young minds and students that have entered this competition called ExploraVision, but some of the winners actually get to fly their families and friends into DC, meet members of Congress, get scholarship money towards school. It's a very, very fascinating competition full of really fun, encouragement, support, but also developing ideas for technologies that could really have an impact to real-world problems. So without further ado, I'd like to bring our first school up to introduce them to you. Let's give a round of applause for the Mott Hall School. Ladies. Grab a microphone. Grab a microphone. You might have to share one. Okay, come to the front here. All right, this is the Mott Hall School. First off, tell everyone who you are. Say hello and your name.
Hello, my name is Natalia Benitez.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Jara.
Hello, my name is Angelis Rohina.
Hello, my name is Aisha Tabassum.
And all of them are, you still in 7th grade?
Yes.
Yeah. 7th graders. Okay, they're all 7th graders. Now, you guys came up with something called the voice-activated binder, right? Explain that for us out here. Like, what does that mean? What does the voice-activated binder mean?
The voice-activated binder is a binder and a laptop sort of combined, and is very useful for all students because you just speak to it, and it does everything you say. And it also has internet, and you can do like many things. You could create charts, data tables with just using the information you have. It's really good.
What gave you this idea? Who wants to tell us why you felt that we should do a voice-activated binder? Whose idea kind of sparked it?
Well, we all have to carry around these huge binders at school all the time, and we're always like complaining about how heavy and how uncomfortable they are. So we decided we wanted to make that a little bit easier. So we came up with the idea, let's make a voice-activated binder. You just talk to it and it'll do all your work. So we thought of the things that we hated doing the most, like we thought were the most difficult to do. And we sort of put it together, and we thought of how voice activation technology could come together with this idea of ours to make the voice-activated binder.
What did any of the other students say about this project? When you told this to your family or to your friends or to others, what did they think about that? Were they excited about this idea?
Well, they were very excited because it's like an easy way to like take notes, and like you catch everything that your teacher's saying, and you don't have to be writing and wasting all this paper.
And it was also going to help you be more productive too, right? Like, can you use it to search? Would you be able to search on command? I mean, give it the search command so you could find things that because it records audio as well, right? So it's using speech recognition, but it's also recording. But then you could use that as voice activation for doing other commands and maybe even searching for things, maybe like class notes that you took and you want to find something easier.
Yeah, you tell it to like, it has reviews. And when you need to review something, you just go on and you tell it review class notes and you tell it the date and it'll go to your notes and then it'll like explain it. And when it's done explaining, like you actually understand. But then it's also bad because then when you take the state test, since they're short answers, you'll like forget how to write since you're not using pencil and paper anymore.
So one last question for you all. I want to know, what was the most challenging part for you, for each one of you? I want you to answer this question. What was the most challenging part of this project for you?
I think that the most challenging was to create a binder, like an invention that would help all students, because like everyone is different. They like different things, so it's very difficult to make a creation that will benefit everyone.
And for you, was it easy to kind of work together as a team? What was challenging in this process for you?
Well, for me, what was challenging was like agreeing on things, like agreeing on what we were gonna make, and
just so you know, that still happens with adults. Okay, like we all have to kind of like prioritize and agree on things. We all don't see a certain vision a certain way. So that was the hardest part for you. Yeah. What about for you?
The hardest part for me was like these three girls, Natalia, Jennifer, and Aisha. I was out for 2 months because I had to get a surgery. And then like they got in on me and then like I actually understand when they like told me. Because like it was like already started. And then I understood. And I really liked the idea.
That's great. And for you?
Well, honestly, the hardest part was actually thinking of the idea at first. Because we thought, okay, it's going to be a binder and it's going to be voice activated, but how is it all going to come together? We didn't really know how we were going to put it together and like how it was going to look in the end. That was the hardest part for me.
Well, we want to give you a big round of applause. I think this is an awesome idea.
Thank you.
And I just have to say that when you all have this, actually, like you have slides here that kind of describe a little bit about it too. When this is done, there will be no reason for any kid not to have anything less than an A in school. So you're making it so much easier for parents with this technology. I'm just kidding. But no, I'm very proud of you all for this hard work that you did, okay? Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Congratulations. Excellent. Excellent. You can put the microphone down, right? Pretty cool. Next up, we have Horace Greeley High School. Do we have Horace Greeley? Is Horace Greeley next? Horace Greeley is next? Okay, great. Horace Greeley High School is here. Give them a round of applause. 10th graders. Each of you grab a microphone right behind you.
We're missing one.
And, well, you just share one. There, yeah, you can share one. Okay. So first, give us your name real quick, and what was your role with the actual project? But before we get started, we should probably tell them what this project is. So go ahead and kind of give us a quick description as to what it is.
Well, ours is use of carbon nanotubes and polymer electrolyte membrane hydrogen fuel cells, and basically the fuel cell is a renewable energy technology that performs a reaction that generates electricity and creates water from a hydrogen ion.
Wait, say that one more time, a little bit slower. I want to make sure everyone got that.
Okay, well, the fuel cell is a renewable energy technology that performs a reaction that generates electricity and creates water from a hydrogen ion.
Okay. All right, got it. And each of you say your name. You are?
Rachel Newberger.
Gabby Greenberg. Maya Klieger. Christine Chow.
Okay, so who came up with this idea, and why did you think it was the right idea to work on?
Well, I sort of came up with the idea, and we thought that it was a good idea to work on because fuel cells are really great technology, and they produce no negative emissions at all, and they could really be a solution for the energy problem that we're having.
I was just going to ask, what's the problem that we're trying to solve? But is it more than just energy? Were there other things that you found out during this process that it could also benefit?
Well, in general, it just produces a more efficient way of energy rather than like oil and foreign oil and all those problems. But also, it's a whole new economy that could be created, a whole new industry.
Yeah, going along with that, it could like stimulate our economy by adding jobs, and also like, as Rachel said, it's very good for the environment because it reduces the harmful emissions, which can contribute to problems such as air pollution, water pollution, as well as climate change.
So talk to me a little bit about the process. You guys came up with this idea, and then you agreed on it, and then you had to work with your teacher, and how was that? Talk to us a little bit about the working with the teacher to try to help you get through this process.
Working with our teacher, it was great. She was very supportive if we had questions or we needed any advice on what we needed to do. But the research part and figuring out the info, that was like, we did that individually, and the teacher just kind of supported us, and she helped us along the way.
What did you find most rewarding about the process or about the end result or where you are? Like, what's the most rewarding thing that comes to mind about this?
The most rewarding thing is that we get to educate people and learn ourselves about the technology that's so important and could be so viable in our market.
Anybody else have a different reward that they got out of this experience? No? Well, let me ask you one last question then. This is part of this competition and part of this idea is all about creating future problem solvers. Do you think going through this process, it really helps you understand more about, being able to deal with different variables and understanding those variables and then trying to figure out solutions based upon so many smaller problems? Like you were trying to solve a big problem, but within that process, you probably bumped into a bunch of little small ones, right? Name maybe one small thing that was a challenge that you had to overcome.
We had to think about like what kind of catalyst we would use instead of platinum, because platinum is what causes fuel cells to be really expensive, and so for fuel cells to be used in commercial products, it has to be cheap. So we had to think about what would be better to use.
Excellent, excellent. Well, let's give them all a round of applause from the Horace Greeley High School 10th graders. Thank you all so much. Congratulations. Coming up, 4th graders, get ready. They're going to blow you away. They all have a patent under their name, each one of them. No, I'm just kidding, but that's coming soon. Welcome 4th graders right here from Crumpod, thank you, Crumpod Elementary School. They're both here. What's your name, young man?
Tyler. Tyler Merson.
Tyler, and you are?
Sam Milhaven.
All right, Sam, and you guys have what's called ISir 2000, right? 2020, I'm sorry, ISir 2020. Okay, explain to us what ISir 2020 is about.
Well, the ISir 20, hold on.
I can hold it for you.
Thank you. The ISir 2020 is all you need to mix and bake cookies. This machine is based on a pastry gun type of cookie. We hope this invention makes it easier and faster for bakers to bake and make cookies. You put the wet and dry ingredients into the ISir 2020, then we'll mix and squeeze the dough onto a heated conveyor belt. This object has a heater that will bake the cookies at just the right temperature, which will save energy and will allow you to ice them all together.
Our vision is an all-in-one power mixer, cookie press, baker, and icing machine called the ISir 2020. This machine is a portable, easy-to-use cooking appliance that would do what 4 different appliances and cooking utensils do today. Imagine being able to make your favorite cookies in less time with less mess. The ISir 2020 has separate compartments for wet and dry ingredients. They are mixed separately before being moved through a funnel and then combined in the power mixing compartment. The cookie dough is then squeezed through a mold, and then the cookie shapes drop onto a cookie sheet, which is also part of the appliance. The cookie sheet has heating coils inside that bake the cookies. After the cookies are baked, the ISir 2020 is also capable of icing your cookies or filling your whoopie pies with the icing or filling that you choose. When you are done, you can put the dairy compartments in the dishwasher because they are dishwasher safe. The ISir 2020 is a must-have for anyone who loves cookies.
Wait a minute. Tyler and Samuel, are both of you like into baking?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this thing here. So both of you are into cooking. So I assume your favorite thing to bake is cookies.
Yeah. Obviously.
Right. Okay. Now let's get to the real question. What kind of cookies are we talking about? Can we do more? Can we do like M&M cookies or chocolate chip cookies?
Sure.
What are we talking about?
We do anything really.
Any type of cookie? Okay, what's your favorite?
I'd have to say chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip. And for you?
Just double fudge cookies.
Double fudge cookies. All right, so like when did this idea come about? Were you both like in the kitchen and you're like, this is just ridiculous. It takes long. We have to like do all this stuff with the dough and then we have to mix it and you have to pour this and do that. And was it the process and you said there had to be an easier way?
Well,
how did the light bulb happen?
Me and him both saw a movie and we found a really cool machine that was in the movie and we wanted to make it better. So we changed it to like a cookie making machine. And so it would be easier to make and faster.
And what did your parents think of this ISir 2020? Did they say, oh my gosh, this is genius? Kids across the globe will be able to make cookies so much faster, and parents would be excited that they wouldn't have to be in the kitchen, they could do some other things?
Well, it's really basically that, you know how when you make cookies, it takes so much time, and you want to do something after it. If you make cookies so much faster, you have more time to enjoy them and less time baking them. So you could spend time with your family, having the cookies, and...
I love it. I love it. The minute you guys have this done, I want to be first in line to try out the cookies. I got to say, I got to go with the chocolate chip. I'm not really a double fudge chocolate thingy that you said.
But it can be any one, so...
Okay, all right, it could be any one. Okay, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. This is the beginning of Ben & Jerry for cookies with science. Samuel and Tyler, it was a pleasure meeting both of you young men.
Thank you.
Congratulations. One last question for both of you. You both had to work with a teacher to kind of come up with this idea.
Yeah.
Tell other kids that are watching this right now, why should they, try out ExploraVision? Why should they try to come up with a really neat idea that can really make a difference? Like, what other kids don't know what you've been through, so maybe you should tell them, why this is important for other kids to get into it.
You should try ExploraVision because it lets your mind go out of the box. You can do anything, you could test anything, you could really do anything. It's a world of possibilities when you try it.
Wow. Did you hear that? Someone's tweeting that right now. ExploraVision is out of the box. And for you?
And, well, first you have to think of a thing that you think could be improved, and once you do, just anything really. You can change it to anything that you think would make it better.
Yeah. And what do you guys hope? By entering into the competition, you hope what?
Well, we hope that after we make once the energy efficient products come out, we won't have to be using fossil fuels.
Excellent. Future minds, give them a round of applause. Thank you both gentlemen very much. You did excellent. Congratulations on ISir 2020. That's pretty cool. All right, coming up right now, we have North Shore Hebrew Academy High School. 9th graders, I believe, all joining us to talk about their mind-reading Bionic Leg. This is pretty cool. Introduce yourselves, say your name.
Hi, I'm Rachel Schechter.
I'm Rebecca Rosen.
I'm Stephanie Schatz.
Okay, and tell us briefly, what is this idea? What are you guys trying to do? What's the problem we're trying to solve here?
We're trying to solve, so paralyzed people, they can't walk. And no one has ever created anything like electric to help them walk before. Like, we only have wheelchairs and like other stuff. So we decided to create bionic legs that like it will read their mind. So
it's sending messages from their mind as to what they want to do.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, excellent. What was the most challenging part of this project? What seemed to be like the hardest thing, the hardest hurdle you had to overcome?
I think the hardest part was taking all the information and cutting it down to fit a certain amount of pages, because we had so much information and so much to say about the past and what the future can bring.
And the process, talk to me a little bit about the process. How did the idea originate? Does someone have a family member that you were thinking about for this that could help a problem, or?
Well, in the past year, someone very dear to me became paralyzed, and he had been walking his whole life.
and he had that opportunity taken away from him. So we thought if we could give that opportunity back to all of those people who can't walk anymore and who wish they could be like everybody else, it would just be an amazing thing.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I find interesting about the ExploraVision Awards program is that I find so many entries are really about real life problems, trying to help people better their lives through something that really impacted you. And most inventors and creators have something that's impacted their life, and then they want to help solve that problem. So this is really a great example of that. What do you foresee in the next, if this was to happen, your vision is what? That we would see what?
I think that everyone that becomes paralyzed, whether you're 1 year old or you're in an accident or whatever, is going to start using this device, so they'll be able to feel like everyone else and they'll be able to experience life, like walking or going outside and not have to feel they're going to be in a wheelchair and feel embarrassed.
And by entering the competition, what do you guys hope happens? Do you hope to win?
Actually, we hope to maybe influence other inventors out there to make something, even if we're not the people that get patented for it and we're not the people that trademark this, then maybe other people out there can make this dream for all of the people that can't walk anymore and can't do things like everyone else come true.
Yeah. And lastly, what do you say to other high school ladies specifically? Because we have a team here of 3 women, smart, intelligent, very bright, that tackled a technology problem. And for some reason, the society thinks that that's weird, but it's not. So what would you say to other young girls and other young ladies out there that want to, or maybe are hesitant to really want to do more in science and technology?
I think that you should never give up and don't listen to anyone if they think that boys are better, because we can do the same thing and we can win.
Round of applause. Well, congratulations to all 3 of you. I think it's a phenomenal idea, and we wish you all the best of luck and success, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Now coming up, we have the COMEC, is that correct? COMEC High School. 11th grade students, Christina and Justin. They're going to talk to us about decon gel, right? Yes. Decon gel. Okay, grab a microphone for each of you.
Thank you.
All right, explain to us what decon gel is. It's a nuclear and chemical decontaminant.
Yes.
Wow. Explain.
Okay, well, the technology that actually inspired our project that we started with, it's called decon gel, and it's made by CBI Polymers based in Honolulu. And it's basically applied in a liquid form. It's a blue gel. And then surfactants lessen the surface tension between the gel so that the particles can be absorbed into it. And then something called chelators, they turn the particles into mobile water-soluble complexes, which basically just means that they're going to stabilize the particles, the radioactive or chemical. And then the gel solidifies, and the polymer matrix, because this is a polymer, actually it crystallizes and physically encapsulates the particles within the gel, and then you can peel it off, and it can be disposed of at any WIPP waste facility system.
So give me go ahead. Well, I'll let you finish first.
Based on this original idea that we worked with, we decided that we could modify it so it could be used in an aquatic environment, specifically in oil spills, maritime oil spills. So we decided that if we were to lessen the density of decon gel, since there already is a decon gel form that's made for oil and grease, if we could lessen the density, it could float on top of the seawater and be able to trap the oil. And by adding a neutral powder to it, similar to gelatin, it would solidify and be easier to skim off the water, removing the oil.
And the idea came about because?
Well, we were actually reading magazine articles in science magazines, and we found it was just blue goo that could basically clean up radioactive waste. And then we considered a lot of other possibilities on how to change it, but we thought that we would choose this one mostly because it was helpful, and also once the gel is solidified, it can actually be rehydrated in a lab, and then you can take the oil out and it can be reused, which would reserve a very finite resource.
How long did it take you to go through this project?
We spent a good few months on it. There were a lot of all-nighters spent on deciding how we could modify it, or what ways or things we could do to make it so that we ended up with the final product we did.
And the most challenging part through the process was what?
Probably picking which one we wanted to do. We wrote the paper several times.
So give me an example real quickly here of 1 or 2 other ideas that maybe you threw up on the board but then tossed away.
We actually thought that one of the ideas was that since decon gel needs to dry first before you can peel it off and remove the contaminants, we thought we could change the chemical base, since it's water-based, into maybe alcohol to make it dry faster or slower depending on the humidity of an environment. But we thought that by changing the base, it would completely change the product, so we decided not to do that.
Okay, excellent. All right, any last words thoughts of where you would really like to see this ultimately go?
Well, to build our project, we actually contacted the company so that they could come and they could explain to us how it actually works. So that it wouldn't be something unrealistic. But so we've been in contact with them and they've read our paper. So hopefully they might take some of our ideas into consideration.
Or hire you.
I would hope so.
Give them a round of applause. It's phenomenal work. Thank you both so much, Christina and Justin from Commack High School. Thank you both. Yes. Okay, any of the students that are here that have been on stage, make sure you don't leave. Make sure you stay around because we want to make sure that we grab a group photo with all of you, with Mr. Fuji, in just a moment. But right now, coming down to our last couple of schools here, we have Ridgewood Avenue School, fifth graders that created the green solar generator. Correct? That's you guys? Grab a microphone for each one of you. Give them a round of applause for Ridgewood Avenue School. The fifth graders up here. All right, state your name, sir.
Connor Kroll.
Connor.
Tim Van Bloom.
Tim.
Alexander Rovlina.
Alexander. Okay, give us a basic understanding as to what the green solar generator is about.
It's like it's solar powered generator, but if the sun's not out that day, if you do have a solar generator, then you have no power. But if it's raining, it powers a hydro part of the generator, so it's always going to keep going.
I see. So no matter what's going on with the sun, this is going to help create and generate electricity regardless of those variables, those conditions you cannot control. How did you guys come up with this idea? What happened? What did you see that said, oh, that sparked the idea for this?
Well, we had Hurricane Irene, and we all had our power knocked out. Like, I had it for a week, I think. So we decided a month later, when the ExploraVision came along, we said, well, what if we created a generator? And the way this is designed, there's no way that your power will go out. And there's no time where you'll have a blackout or anything.
So this is huge because you guys experienced being in a power outage, and when you have these hurricanes and other weather conditions that knock electricity out, it just brings tons of mayhem, hysteria, confusion. A lot of people stress out. They can't get in touch with their family and friends. So it really is a real problem that you're trying to solve. What was the hardest thing about really saying, okay, how could this really work? How could this really be real? Like, if it's not done already, what made you believe that this could be done and it would be like fail-safe, that it would really work fully?
Well, I think one of the things was there's solar power and there's hydropower, and they've been done before, but no one's ever really put them together. And that was actually really hard to do because of, we had to have wires going, and they were all connecting, and it was really hard to actually finally put the energy together. So we decided we actually had to have it powering another generator, and that's what made the house work. So it was actually really hard to put it together.
And Alexander, for you, what was the most fun part of the process, of the experience? Like, what did you learn the most, or what excited you the most about going through this?
I liked learning about the parts of it because each bit was exquisite to each other.
In what way? Like, give me an example.
Like the solar panels use silicone but ultra thin, and the ones that you see are actually made up of solar cells, tiny bits of them.
And so what was your contribution to the team?
I had the solar part.
You had the solar part. The solar expert. And your contribution was?
I was the hydraulics part.
Hydraulics. And your contribution?
I just tried to figure out how generators work.
Okay, so you were the engineer behind the generators and how that particular process worked.
Yeah.
Was there any one thing that baffled you guys the most?
I think one of the biggest things was how people haven't thought of this yet. Like, if you think about it, it's hard, but it's not going to be that much of a difficult thing to put it together. So we think that maybe if, 20 years from now we don't have a job, we could probably put this together and it could really work. So I'm just surprised that no one's thought of it yet.
Are you guys, Alexander, are you guys working on a patent for this?
Soon.
Soon, you gotta love it. Give them a round of applause for Ridgewood Avenue School, the green solar generator, Tim, Alexander, and Connor. Gentlemen, congratulations, great work. It was a lot of hard work, but you guys persevered and did an awesome job. Thank you so much. And down to our last two classes here, we have Valley Middle that's going to be coming up. They're in sixth graders, and they're going to be talking to us about the DROME, disaster-resistant home, a disaster-resistant home. Pretty cool. Welcome, state your name.
My name is Anthony Mazzilli.
And you are?
I'm Chris Carson.
Chris, okay.
Annalie Baggio.
Annalie?
Annalie.
Annalie, okay, all right, great. Now give us a brief description of DROME. How are we gonna have disaster-proof home?
The DROME is an egg-shaped house, and when a disaster is near, like a hurricane, flood, or earthquake, the homeowner goes inside the DROME and it closes up to protect the homeowner from strong winds or anything that could damage houses.
Is this something that's outside of the home? Is this a separate structure, or is this something?
The DROME is the home.
The DROME is the home. Get it? Okay, excellent. Why this idea? What sparked this thought of creating this disaster-proof home?
Hurricane Irene, actually, at the end of the summer was devastating. It killed a lot of people, so we decided to try to invent something that would help prevent stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, when you see the destruction that takes place, you know, from hurricanes. Oh, you have a photo. Yeah, see, that's a photo of the destruction right there. So this is part of the research that you guys did. You went out to go, and so you really found that this is a huge problem, obviously. Many of us know about, major hurricanes, but there are so many storms that happen that don't get, national media attention all the time that probably still destroy a lot of homes. And the home is, that's everyone's, that's their thing. They have all their property, all of their memories. It's not even about like the stuff that's in it more than it's like the memories about it, so protecting that is really, really important. But what's the most challenging piece of this, technically speaking? What did you have to overcome from a technical perspective to say, this could really happen if we do this?
We would have to have a material that is strong enough to close the DROME, because it closes up and keeps the homeowner inside. We would also need a kind of technology to help warn the homeowner and detect when the storm is coming, and other advanced things like DNA scanning that also comes with it.
DNA scanning that comes with it. Okay, cool. What was your part? Each one of you tell us real quick, what was your part of this whole process? Like, what did you focus on and work on?
I focused on, designing the little web page things we had to do.
Okay. So you did the programming of the website and the web page? Let me see. Oh, yeah. Okay, excellent.
I actually only really found out what was going where.
Okay.
She was actually the one
So what was your part of the process?
Well, I guess my part of the project was I kind of came up with the idea. I wanted to figure out how it was going to work and how it would be realistic, because I want this to be realistic.
Right. And what was your part of the project?
I
wrote the future technology.
Yeah, I'm sorry, say that again?
I wrote the future technology.
You wrote the technology?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, excellent. All right, is there any final question that I have? Most challenging part of this? Was it hard working as a team, or was that the easy part?
It was hard working as a team to combine all the ideas and figure out what we should include, what we shouldn't include, what's important, and
so if that's the case, what was the most rewarding piece of this all? Like, what are you guys so happy about with this?
That maybe inventors can look at this idea and make something from it that could help all these people who lost their homes and their family.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. The DROME, ladies and gentlemen, the DROME, disaster-proof homes. Thank you, Jenna. Thank you both, all three of you, so much for great work. Congratulations, okay? Thank you. And our last school that we're going to be bringing up is Valley Middle Urban. Their project's called Urban Residential Building with Agricultural Nutriment Tower. In other words, it's called the Urban Tower. We have Kelsey. Kelsey, right? Are you Robert?
I'm Donald.
You're Donald. Okay, so we have Kelsey and Donald from the team. Welcome, both of you. Tell us a little bit briefly about what this is. Describe this for us.
It's a tower that's similar to a regular apartment building, but on the inside is a column full where you can grow crops.
On the inside?
Yeah.
How did you guys come up with this idea? It's pretty unique.
We read a book by Dixon Despommier, and he talked about the future of feeding the world and farming. And also some places are trying vertical farms, so we thought we'd improve them.
And we see a lot of this kind of happening like outside of like in a building, but maybe on a rooftop.
Yeah.
But this is inside the building, right? Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your contribution to the project? What did you focus on?
I mostly did the research
Say
for
it
the project, and I was the one who read the book and found all this great information that he had provided.
And when you visualized what you wanted to put together, did it come out exactly to the vision, or were there changes along the way and the vision morphed?
There were a lot of changes. At first, we were going to make it just a sole tower for only farming, but then we changed it into a kind of an apartment building.
Kind of, yeah, residential. Okay, excellent. And what was the most challenging piece about the project? Was it overwhelming amount of research that was out there, or was it hard to find that research? What was the most challenging piece for you?
Probably making it all into one building, like a farm, a place to live. It's hard to make it both.
Yeah. How did your teacher help you? What was their like role? What did they do during the project?
She helped us set up an email with Mr. Despommier, and she answered our questions and provided a lot of support.
Wait, the author?
Yeah.
The author. So wait, you guys got in contact with the author, and the author responded?
Yes.
What did the author have to say about the idea?
We had sent him a couple of questions, and he recommended that we use energy-efficient LEDs to grow their plants instead of, one of our ideas was to use solar tubes, but that was too complex.
Too complex. But ultimately, he said what? This is exciting. This is ingenious. I mean, what did he think about it?
He thought that it was a really great idea, and I think that he kind of hoped to maybe add that to his tower.
Well, if he writes about it in his next book, you guys get royalties for that, okay? Ask for a percentage. I'm serious. No, I'm just kidding. All right, give them a round of applause. Great project. The Urban Tower. The Urban Tower. Congratulations to all of you. And then we're going to invite all of the students up. As we do that, we're going to invite all of the students that have participated, that were up on the stage, to come right here in front of the stage so we can take a group shot with Mr. Fuji. All the students come to the front here. And while they're gathering, I just want to mention what you guys just witnessed there was just a sample of all of the different types of entries that come in from across the country for ExploraVision. I mean, this is huge, what ExploraVision does. And one of the things that's also really interesting is it's K through all levels, all grades. So you've seen that witnessed here. You've seen the diversity as well, gender diversity, ethnic diversity. This program, in my view, seeing a lot of programs, being a tech person in the media, I've witnessed a lot of technology programs. This is one of the best programs, and for 20 years straight, and now you know why they've been running for so long, for 20 years. It's called ExploraVision. So for those of you that have been listening or don't know, please share ExploraVision.org, right? Is that the website, ExploraVision.org, right? Yeah, okay. ExploraVision.org. Do you have everyone? We have some people saying that maybe, would it have been easier for them to be on the stage, or do you want one row on the floor and one? Okay. Oh, yeah, tighten up the circle. Okay. So, yeah, we'll line up right behind them. Perfect. Come on in. No, you're fine. You're fine. Maybe slide over just a little bit to your right. Scoot to your right, to your right. Keep going, keep going. Keep going right there. Perfect. Yeah, that's good.
What number do you have?
2, 2, 2, please.